A young couple had just settled into their car for a romantic evening when danger suddenly struck. Out of nowhere, a man on a bicycle sped toward them, waving a gun and demanding money and a phone. But instead of panicking, the boyfriend acted with incredible composure. With one swift motion, he opened the car door and lunged at the armed robber, determined to protect his girlfriend at all costs. A violent struggle erupted as the two men fought, while the terrified girlfriend's cries for help echoed through the street. Hearing the commotion, nearby residents rushed in. Within moments, a crowd surrounded the scene, and together they overpowered the would-be robber. This armed thief thought it would be an easy score. He pointed a gun at the driver, threatened him, and dragged him out of the car to steal it. But within seconds, his confidence vanished. The man he'd just tried to rob wasn't an ordinary driver. He was an undercover police officer. Before the robber could even process his mistake, the officer drew his weapon and took control of the situation, turning what was supposed to be a robbery into an arrest. These two guys thought stealing a few beers would be a walk in the park. They grabbed the bottles and strutted off like nothing could stop them. But they were dead wrong. In a flash, the store clerk whipped out her pepper spray and unleashed it. One thief was instantly blinded and disoriented. Before he could react, she seized him, dragging him back inside. The other tried to fight back, but she didn't flinch. With nerves of steel, she slammed the alarm and held her ground until police arrived. This thief snatched an item from an elderly man, sending him crashing to the ground, then sped away on his bicycle, thinking he could get away with it. But a few young men nearby saw everything. Without a moment's hesitation, they took off after him. He wasn't fast enough. Within seconds, one of them caught up and knocked him clean off his bike with a swift, decisive kick. They held him down until police arrived. And just like that, the would-be thief's little escape ended in handcuffs. The elderly gentleman remained remarkably elegant, even when staring down the barrel of a gun. Calm, confident, and composed, he carried himself with the grace of a true gentleman. When danger struck, he didn't panic. He acted. With swift, decisive movements, he stood between the armed robber and his family, protecting them without fear. The desperate thief, trembling and uncertain, found himself overpowered not by force, but by the sheer presence and poise of the man before him. What started as a quiet day at a small family-run store suddenly turned into a fight for survival. A man in a white cap walked in, pretending to be a customer. But moments later, he revealed his true intentions, brandishing a gun and announcing a robbery. He ordered everyone to stay calm and demanded the cash. Then came a split-second act of bravery. As the robber paused to reload, the family's young son lunged forward, snatching the weapon from his hands. Instantly, the entire family rushed in, tackling the intruder and forcing him to the ground. Together, they overpowered the armed man and held him until police arrived. What began as a routine shift quickly turned chaotic when a man pretending to be a customer suddenly lunged at the cashier, snatching a handful of cash. But the quick-thinking cashier reacted with lightning speed, stepping back just in time to dodge his grasp. Desperate, the thief vaulted over the counter, grabbing her in a frantic struggle for the money. Then, out of nowhere, a male employee rushed in to defend her, followed by a mysterious figure in black, who struck with perfect timing. A failed heist, a fearless team, and a spectacular ending he'll never forget. Waving the weapon, shouting threats, and demanding cash. This robber thought he had control, pointing a gun straight at his target. But in a split second, everything flipped. The young man lunged forward, seized the robber's arm, and slammed him hard to the ground. With sheer strength and precision, he ripped the weapon away and pinned the criminal to the pavement. This guy spotted a car on the street, and greed instantly took over. He circled the vehicle, scanning for witnesses. Then, as soon as the coast was clear, he pulled out a tool and began unlocking the door. But what he didn't expect was the owner's lightning-fast reaction. Two swift, powerful kicks, like goals in a championship final, sent the thief crashing to the ground. Defeated and humiliated, he crawled away in pain, never daring to look back. These two thugs thought it would be an easy score. Guns in hand, confidence sky high. They cornered three young men on the street, ready to rob them without mercy. But in the blink of an eye, everything flipped. The victims fought back with fury, and suddenly, the so-called tough guys were crawling, stumbling, and running for their lives. This robber thought it would be an easy day, waving his gun, barking threats, and demanding money from innocent people. But he was about to learn a painful lesson in justice. In a flash of courage and unity, the group turned the tables. They distracted him, closed in from all sides, and before he knew it, he was on the ground, helpless. Together, these brave citizens stood firm against fear. They didn't run. They fought back, and in the end, justice prevailed.